channel.
One is a version of Superman if he was to have a really super bad day, and another one is an Amazonian princess. Who would win? Welcome everyone to another episode of The Beatdown, the segment and channel where two worlds collide. I am your host, Class. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy our content, you know what you guys can do. You can share, you can like, or you can subscribe to our channel. When you guys subscribe to our channel, you know what you do. You guys are building our empire and allowing us to provide you guys with even much more greater content for you guys to enjoy. And in honor of obviously the continuation of season 2's Invincible, we decided we were going to talk about some characters from that animated series. And who better to start off with than the man who was the villain in the main one in the last season, Omni-Man. Alright, so if you want to get to know about the brief origins, we've already talked about how they came to be. We'll have that in the description down below, or just look up No Pressure Channel and Brief Origins. You'll see both the characters' stories. But let's talk about the BAF in this particular moment, shall we? Alright guys, here we go. Okay, 1/3 of this reason a planet got destroyed by ramming through it. Fly faster than the speed of light. He can lift a roller coaster, can lift several cars, lift aircrafts, lift tanks, stronger in certain points in comics than Invincible. He can deflect an asteroid the size of Texas. He can punch robots apart with relative ease, slice alien monsters with just shaping his hand as a blade. His fist fought Al the alien, held his own against Thrag, hopefully I said that right, which is one of the top tier Viltrumites. Knocked out Supreme. Yeah, that's his ultimate flex. He knocked out Supreme. And that's one of the Image Comics top tier characters in comics. They did a crossover. So yeah. Shout out to all my content supporters. Not working together, but we like to give credit where credit is due. Ivan the Unstoppable for all the knowledge of comic feats. Watch Mojo for origins and for all the background videos. Comic Historian, Comics Explained, and Key Issues. Go ahead and check them out and tap into the world of comics by supporting other creators. Link to channels will be in the description below. Alright, so let's get into the end game. How Omni-Man would defeat Wonder Woman. So let's start off with the obvious. Wonder Woman has a slight resemblance to another woman who was in his realm, happened to be War Woman. So the comparison is almost astounding. So there's a safe argument to say that in this universe, Omni-Man is like Superman, and Wonder Woman is War Woman, and it's still the same kind of feat. Superman in Wonder Woman's world, like Superman still will be top compared to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman will always be second, but Superman is still the top dog when it comes to that. I guess that's still the same rule applies in this one when it comes to Omni-Man and War Woman. So if he was able to defeat War Woman almost relatively with ease, I think he could also, it's safe to say that he might be able to take down Wonder Woman also as well. Even though she is a strong Amazonian warrior, there's so much you can take against someone who's almost the same equivalent level of Superman. I say almost, okay? Another thing is, his bread and butter is going to be speed and force. That's pretty much going to be the best way he's going to be able to kind of put a dent into Wonder Woman, because a direct fight hand to hand, both of them are kind of equally matched, considering Wonder Woman has been in several combats, so has Omni-Man. So between the two, it would be safe to say that both of them would be able to kind of throw a fist at each other and know how to handle each other pretty well. So for Omni-Man, it's going to need to be speed and force that helps him tenderize the meat when it comes to, so to speak, when it comes to Wonder Woman, so he can soften her up, so when he wants to deliver the deadly blow, he can actually do it. Alright, another couple points is that obviously Omni-Man, you could say the same rules apply in the DC universe when it comes to Black Adam as an argument, where Black Adam was facing Shazam, their first encounter in like the animated series. I don't know if it's the same in the comics, but in the animated series he was able to use civilians in order to get Shazam to pivot to what he wanted him to do, like bend to his will. So I do believe you could say the same thing about Omni-Man. Omni-Man can actually put civilians in harm's way since he doesn't care about human life, and actually scare Wonder Woman into probably submitting in that kind of way. You can do that's just one of those wild card situations. I'm not saying that was how he would do it, but that is a possibility. Another thing is an up close fight with Omni-Man and Wonder Woman. Now, I would think he would use most of his speed to try to throw as many punches as he can. I don't know if he'll be able to nail them all, but at least enough to do some kind of damage. Along with that, range, distance-wise, he could probably cause or create a tornado that might be able to put some kind of work into Wonder Woman. Also, a tidal wave. He can also find, if he finds a shore nearby, an ocean shore nearby, he might be able to get in there and manage to create a tidal wave strong enough to put enough force in Wonder Woman, or to have Wonder Woman have to freak out an evacuation and then have to mess with her psychologically from all the civilians that died based on their war or fight encounter. That might be able to psych her out enough for Omni-Man to take advantage of that. Alright, and my last and final point how Omni-Man would be able to defeat Wonder Woman is, okay, he was able to ram as 1/3 of a being or a super character or godly being or alien, whatever, somebody with superpowers up the top of the wazoo. It's safe to say that if he was 1/3 of the planet destroying capabilities, he might be able, let's say hypothetically, if he found something at around the same ballpark as the same size of the planet that he was pretty much 1/3 of it, maybe the planet he fought or he destroyed that was 1/3, maybe he can find something exactly that size, 1/3, that's completely his size, where he can actually use it to ram Wonder Woman into the planet and have the planet erupt while they're in it. Now, Wonder Woman is strong and she survived certain things, but imagine if maybe he found a ducks in a row full of exact size planets that he can destroy. If he kept ramming her into those planets, maybe finding asteroids to ram her into, it's gonna do some work and damage, but the planet's the most is gonna be the one that's gonna do damage, because a lot of impact and eruption of explosions from a planet, it's gonna hurt like hell. At some point, it might be enough to put her down and then have Omni-Man claim victory on this end. I want to apologize in advance. I didn't mention where Omni-Man was from. He's from the Invincible comics, which happens to be Image Comics production. Or studio, or comics, I don't know how you pronounce that. But anyways, besides the point, moving on. On this side, I'll be representing DC Comics' own Wonder Woman. Alright, so let's get into the BAFs, shall we? Alright, Superman once told Wonder Woman that they were equal in raw power. Golden Age Wonder Woman was able to pull the sun and the moon, able to pull mountains and continents. That's Golden Age Wonder Woman. Keep that in mind. 1/3 of a hero, or Shiro in this case, who pulled the earth. Yeah. Fought Superman one time, and with their punches were causing the heavens and earth to quake. Pulled Martian Manhunter out of a black hole. She broke the Cronus scepter, which has the ability to hold the God Wave. This is an energy force that creates divine beings in the universe, also capable of universal destruction. Gave a thunderous blow to Convict, who is able to take hits from Superman's might. Survived a black hole bomb, punched a nuclear bomb, survived an attack from Ares in his own realm, survived an Imperiex drone explosion which had the blast portion of the Big Bang itself, lifted a giant tank along with a giant meteor with ease, dodged heat vision blast from a Mazo. Wonder Woman defeated Superman as he was under some mind tricks, and could only be stopped when Wonder Woman used her tiara as a throwing weapon to cut Clark's throat open, causing him to finally stop. Of course, he did heal back after that. Alright, so let's get into the end game, how Wonder Woman would defeat Omni-Man. So let's start off with the fact that the 1/3 thing. Okay, yeah, he was able to destroy 1/3 of the planet with two other guys, but Wonder Woman again also was able to pull the earth with 1/3 of the people, which happened to be Martian Manhunter and Superman. So if she was able to do that, don't get it twisted. She's gonna hit you hard and it's gonna hurt like hell. There's no question about whether or not she's gonna be able to hurt you. She is gonna hurt you with her force. Even if he hits, she could hit just as equal amount of force. And remember, even Superman said that they are equal in raw strength. So Superman, I'm going to say, is stronger than Omni-Man. So in that argument, at least I'm believing that's the case. a Wonder Woman would be able to defeat Omni-Man in that sort of way in argument. Now let's talk about the whole combat thing. Yes, Omni-Man has experience fighting several planets and conquering them and being a part of the whole thing, but let's keep something else in mind. Omni-Man also, he got a little comfortable, he was in Earth for a while. There wasn't really a lot to face over there. There's not a lot of great threats, which means he didn't have to do a lot of hand-to-hand combat, which means he didn't have to really prepare too much when it came to great threats, considering he thought he was the only threat for Earth that would be great. However, Wonder Woman, that's not the case. She always prepares. She's preparation. She's always training constantly to keep herself alert and focused and ready for anything, which means that she might get the upper advantage against Omni-Man in certain circumstances during a hand-to-hand combat fight or a fight in general. All right, so let's talk about also durability-wise. It's not going to be easy to put Wonder Woman down at all, considering the fact that she took a portion of the Big Bang explosion and she's taken a black hole bomb explosion as well. It's safe to say that Wonder Woman is not going to be easy to put down. And let's also mention the fact that Wonder Woman took an explosion and destroyed something that was a universal destruction. So could do universal destruction, which means that kind of power, if she was able to destroy it, that means that she was able to take quite amount of force, which means that, let's say these two got into a fight, Wonder Woman's most likely going to be able to dominate Omni-Man, since Omni-Man was able to destroy, an entire race of aliens and their planet in like one setting. That's true, but imagine several planets. Wonder Woman can do that. Omni-Man might have been able to do that with one, but could he do that to several planets? No. So if Wonder Woman decides to come at him and start throwing him into planets or getting him in a planet busting moment, she can do that. She's been able to take several impacts into several situations and circumstances when it comes to explosions. Or if Wonder Woman wanted to, she could just keep trying to throw him into nuclear situations. Now maybe it doesn't do much damage to Omni-Man at first, but several of those, it's got to do some kind of damage to anybody in general. But with Wonder Woman, it would take longer for her to feel the pain, is what I'm saying, or even feel the sting compared to Omni-Man. Okay, the last point I will make is, Wonder Woman's weapons don't really get a lot of love because they are pretty damn strong. So Wonder Woman has a shield that could help in a situation when it comes to, let's say he decides to throw any solid objects at her, because he doesn't have heat vision. It goes to her favor in this circumstances. The tiara, you forget, it helped defeat Superman in one instance to cut his throat because it's a magical weapon. It could probably do something like that to Omni-Man. We don't really know about the circumstances when it comes to magic, at least not that I'm aware of, but it might be able to do some damage. Her lasso was able to hold some very strong beings from being able to rip through it or get off of it. So I do believe it would probably do some trouble. It might cause some trouble for Omni-Man. And another thing is her sword was able to stab the new God's eye, which happened to be Darkseid. So it's safe to say that the sword comes in handy in a circumstantial situation. She might be able to cut a little piece of Omni-Man off during a situation like that. Considering it fought a new God, it could probably defeat an alien in that situation. Another thing is that she also has those bracelets. If she decides to put those bracelets together, she could throw enough force at Omni-Man that might be able to put him down for a certain amount of time for her to get that moment to go and jam a blade into him and end it in that sort of way. And then the last point I'll make is Omni-Man, his limit is what it is. But with Wonder Woman, she said in the comics, she told Clark, I don't even know my limits. So I do believe that if she took the bracelets off and she decided to get that Wonder Woman madness going, like super steroid out style, she probably be able to put Omni-Man down. Omni-Man doesn't have a next level. He is the level what it is. But with Wonder Woman, she can go another level, even as she's already, and you've seen her in Golden Age and her current one, she's still pretty bad to the bone. Yes, it's safe to say that that extra level of releasing the bracelet would be the wild card, and that extra boost she needs in order to put Omni-Man down for the count and claim this one for the W. But as always, no Pris fam, it's not up to me, it's up to you guys. So if you liked either one of my arguments, you know what you can do? You can hashtag Omni-Man, or you can hashtag Wonder Woman. And as always, no Pris fam, we really appreciate you guys. Catch you guys later. Peace.